You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast episode 50. I'm your host, N64 Josh. My co-host and sparring partner, Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. It's going good, guys. This is our little bonus episode call-in show that we're doing. So we got a handful of questions from the community that we're going to look at, and I believe we have at least one person that's going to be joining us on the call. So we are doing this live on twitch.tv/N64Josh. And just real quick, if you want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. You'll automatically save $10 at checkout. And I just finished my book, Another Castle. If you want to check it out, you want to check out the first chapter for free, you can go to n64josh.com/anothercastle and just choose the chapter 1. And you can check it out for free if you want. So with that, I think we are going to go ahead and get to our questions. All right, Crawler, what is the first question we have there?
So we have a question from Discord user, a dude named Paul. And so he says he mainly plays first-person shooter games, and this is his first fighting title. He has a tendency to always be moving his left stick, and so he gets turned around a lot. He's asking, should he be flicking the stick to move, or should he keep his thumb on it and move it sparingly?
It's a good question.
So I know you and I both played a lot of first-person shooters, and I haven't been big into fighting games. I enjoy them, but I've never really been super proficient at them. But I'll let you go first, since you kind of were the resident Killer Instinct and Street Fighter kind of person.
Yeah, for sure. A little Mortal Kombat. A lot of fighting games from the 90s, early 2000s, that kind of stuff, like Bloody Roar. There's a lot of them. But huge first-person shooter fan. Halo is my jam. Can't wait for the new game. The thing that I would say, you're asking about movement and flicking your stick. Well, there's going to be a couple different ways to approach this, right? If you're trying to foxtrot, then you're going to be flicking your stick, right? You're gonna the foxtrot is if you want to get to the right of the stage as quickly as possible, and then quickly be able to turn back towards the left, you just flick your stick constantly in that direction, and essentially your character just skips. It's called foxtrotting, right? So that's one thing that you want to incorporate into your movement, because it will allow you to just mix things up, so that your opponent doesn't always know that you're running at them, you're dashing at them. And so if you find yourself just leaving your thumb on the stick and constantly pressing towards that direction, yes, you will dash. If you hit an attack, it doesn't matter what attack, you're going to do a dash attack. And then the other thing is, for me, where I have a little bit of a disconnect and really have to be precise with my inputs, is with my back air. See, if I'm dashing and then I hit back the opposite direction, I can then jump and hit my C stick to the opposite direction that I'm facing, and I'll throw my back air. But if I'm foxtrotting, I have to give it a second to make sure that I have turned around before I jump and hit that attack button to throw that back air. Otherwise, I'm going to continue in the same direction with a fair, and that oftentimes leads to me getting punished. So I think the simple answer is yes, you're going to want to flick your stick, but there are going to be times that you do want to dash and possibly dash attack. It's not going to be every time, but I have one of my combos as Mario is I could do a forward throw to a dash attack to a spike. It's not going to work every time. It's not, but there are cases, even today as we were playing, I was able to pull that move off. So it's going to be a mix of the two. Carl, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, and I think something I want to work on with how I hold my controller is, I think it's fairly common in the Smash community, at least, that you're using the knuckle the inside of your, like the pad part of your thumb, but the knuckle side. So kind of that middle joint, that's where you want to have the thumbstick. It's just, it allows for easier kind of dashing back and forth. It takes a little bit of getting used to, especially coming from first person shooter where you're kind of keeping it just on the pad of your thumb. But it kind of just allows for quicker, kind of shorter throws of your thumb, moving it back and forth, which can allow for those quick movements. So that's something I want to work on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that change fully here before Genesis, but it is something I've kind of been keeping in the back of my mind that I can use for later on, that I need to kind of just adjust how I play.
Gotcha. Right on. Okay, I'm gonna get Rust Belt Kid. He's gonna go ahead and join us in the call. Rust Belt, what's going on, buddy? Oh, looks like his mic is currently muted. Rust, how you doing? See if we can get that mic unmuted. Maybe not. Hey,
there we go. Is that better?
Hey, there he is. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Just sitting here playing some games.
Right on, man. Right on. So, you went to your first local.
Yeah, that was definitely an experience in itself. I
had to motivate you that morning to go do it.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of throughout the day I was like, I don't want to go. I don't know how it is. And so it's at this place. It's a local place. It's called Paul's Gamer Zone. So you couldn't really find much about the place. There was not a lot of reviews or anything, just kind of like, and the reviews that were there were kind of like moms going like, oh, this is a cool place to send my kid's birthday party. And I was kind of like, okay, like I'm a 33-year-old bearded dude, like showing up at a place for a kid's birthday party. Like, So I hesitated it. And Crawler definitely convinced me. A couple others were like, just go. So I went ahead and drugged my wife with me. So that was an experience in itself. No, it was fun. It was the place that it's at. The guy it's like his whole collection, and he's kind of opened up a place just for the kids. We even talked about sustainability.
So is it like arcade stuff? He's collecting like arcade cabinets or
any actual arcade cabinets other than like he has like a setup from like, you know, like the GameStop setups that you would have like the old PS3s in and stuff like that. Like he's got a few of those where like a Wii U set up PS3, but he has legit like and he just kind of stripped it out, and like one side of the wall, and I'll have to post some pictures in the Discord sometime, but one side of the wall is like all TVs with gamer chairs and systems hooked up to each one. And if for some reason you want to use one of those TVs and the system's not hooked up, you just got to ask him. And then he's got TVs like up above where the bar would be, and you can play there. Everything from NES games to Atari, VR to Xbox One. If you want it, he's probably got it.
Oh, that's cool. Very
a
cool.
brave dude to let people use all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got some strict rules on it, but all in all, it's pretty relaxed. It's a pretty good environment. Even for me, when I even talked to him and I said, look, I'm like, this is weird. Like, there's a bunch of kids here, so is this where I should be? And he was like, no, like, it was cool. Like, I guess during the week, Monday through Thursday, they have a lot of people 30s and above come in and do a lot of gaming and do a lot of tournaments. And then on the weekends, it's more kid related. But Thursdays is their themed. So he said not every Thursday will they hold like a big tournament like this, but this Thursday they were. $10 to enter, like half of the pot went to the winner, and then the other half obviously went to the guy putting it on. But there was a good amount of people there, just a little over 20. He had to convince one kid just to enter it so that we would be even on our bracket. But even if you lost, you still got to play again. So there was a loser's bracket. Luckily enough, I got there early enough that the one kid that I was playing with, really good. I mean, like, I was still at 0% and he already had like 2 stocks gone through me. Like, there was no competing with this kid. Pointers, and was very nice, kind of quiet, but like real nice about it. And I learned real quick just playing with him. Yoshi just might not be my character, as much as I love him.
Gotcha. Did you end up playing somebody else then?
Yeah, so that was just kind of messing around. So when the tournament started, I got to play a couple other people before the tournament, box here and there. But I learned what my back air is with Mario.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to use it effectively.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, the tournament started, and the first guy I faced I could have beat him. I actually, playing with Mario for a couple of matches beforehand, got me comfortable with him to the point to where he took the first stock from me. I came back and just demolished him.
Really?
The next stock, and that, like, it was 1-1, and that third stock came down to the wire. Like, it was pretty close. And if it wasn't for, like, my inexperience, I probably could have got it. But there were some things that I definitely messed up on.
Okay.
Like, I was trying to grab way too much with Mario, and I was trying to grab when I was too far out.
Oh, yeah. Those short little arms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely T-Rex arms.
Gotcha. So overall, sounds like it was a pretty good experience.
Yeah, great experience. I've got to play with Mario a little bit after that, and I kind of want to mess around with some other characters, but I'm kind of to that point where I'm kind of afraid to just mess around with them too much. So I've kind of just stuck with Mario and said, okay, when I have the chance, I'll train with Yoshi and try to figure it out, which was really cool. That guy that beat me in the first round explained, I said, look, I'm good. I'm decent with Yoshi. It's just as soon as I jump, I'm up in the air just wiggling my feet up there for eternity. Just don't come down. So I always get just hammered when I'm in the air.
Right.
And he was showing me how to kind of cancel in the middle of it so you don't get real high. So I've been practicing it. It just takes repetitiveness to get those buttons down.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that muscle memory for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like Yoshi and Mewtwo, those kind of floaty characters, those are different kind of characters to learn how their movement works.
Oh yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't able to ball anybody up in an egg and, kind of spit him out the back end like I did Josh the one time.
Oh, we got to bring that up. I see. Okay. All right.
Hey, look, I got one up on you in life. That's my one up. There you go. I'll take it.
No, we had a good laugh for sure. That was awesome. Any particular questions or anything that we could that you have for us that we could talk about?
I guess my main concern right now is everybody talks about playing people that are better than you. Mm-hmm. And I 100% agree with that. I think my biggest downfall, and I don't know if it's or what I need to figure out, but like I have no problem playing against people better than me. But it's nice and being like, okay, I'm just going to go practice on my own in the training room. Like, it takes every part of me. It's almost like a diet at January 1st. Like, for me to go in the training room and like train at something, I'm kind of like, I get bored so easily. Even though I'm learning and I'm enjoying it, my brain's like, okay, it's time to move on. Like, just learn trial by error. To get in that training room, I really don't. I just can't. It's hard for me.
So what I would say is, part of the reason I enjoy the training room so much is because that's where I'm going to learn my muscle memory. One of the things that happened today is that from the top platform, I threw an up from a grab, threw him up, hit the up air and the up B, and got the kill when they were at a relatively low percent. And the only reason I've been able to pull that off is because I've spent time in the training room doing that very thing. So one of the things to think about is like, that's going to be the area where you're not going to jump into a battle with somebody and do the same moves that you do in the training every time, because they're moving. They're going to be dodging, right? Like they're going to be air dodging, that kind of stuff. You're not going to be pulling those things off all the time. But when the time comes and you're able to pull those off, man, it's because you spent that time in the training. Like you're going to be a better player no matter what character it is. The more, like, there's a ton to be learned from playing against other people. Don't get me wrong. There's a ton to be learned there. But I think you'll hit a point where when you go into training, you all of a sudden get there's confidence that comes with knowing what your moveset is and what you can knowing what you can do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I kind of put it in the perspective of like any other game you ever play from the time you're a child till like now, like the more you play it, the better you get. I think my biggest thing is I've never played a lot of fighting games, and so trying to make like forcing myself to understand and realize like, hey, to get better at a fighting game, like it's not always just repetition. It's not like playing like some of the games I'm playing now where you play them enough, you're going to get better because of trial and error. There's no way to really practice other than trial and error. And in a fighting game, most fighting games now, you have that opportunity to go into a training room and actually train and learn the moves over and over again, knowing that like, hey, I don't have to worry about somebody attacking me or anything like that. Like I can keep trying until I get them down and then put them into an actual match and see how I go from there. And I think that's what I got to get my mind to working, because the only other fighting game I've ever really played was like the first Mortal Kombat. Fighting games. And the first Mortal Kombat, I mean, literally came down to my cousin turning it off right at the end and like ruining my whole day of playing. And I never played it after that. So I just never played fighting games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I'm guilty as well, where I don't spend a lot of time in the training room. The most I do is kind of the training room right before a quick match or something like that. But even there, you can kind of get a feel for combo strings that you can work out. But just like you said, I mean, the biggest thing I don't like about the repetition in the training room is that it's not always practical to get that move kind of off on a human being. So I do like I'd rather go into a sparring room with another human being and actually try to have them get out of whatever I'm doing. But both of those are viable options if you're going to just go into, if you have a sparring partner, you can kind of set it up like a training room, and it almost can work better because you can, if you have a competent training partner, you can have them kind of setting up in situations that you wouldn't necessarily be able to have the computer be in. We're like working, like especially when Josh and I were first working on what was it, Josh? Probably 2 or 3 months before we even attempted to start working on edge guarding in Smash 4. I mean, it took a while for us to get our confidence up with just leaving the stage and trying to edge guard. And that kind of practice that we had just in that game has paid dividends in this one, because this game is almost 80% edge guard. I mean, if you can get somebody off the stage and you have an effective way to keep them and keep that that stage control, then you can easily take stocks off somebody at 30-40% if you do it right. So
that's what I found. Like the edge guarding is the one thing that I found out real quick in that little tournament. Like playing beforehand with Yoshi, like couldn't do much of anything else right, but if I got you off stage with Yoshi, like keeping you off stage with edge guarding, like I was able to figure that out and I realized real quick, like I was like, oh wait a minute, like I didn't really know this was a thing, but apparently this is a really good way to win the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even me with spikes, like the only reason I started getting it down is because I was doing it in the lab. Literally everything I've learned in this game, it has been, I would pick what I want to learn. That's the other thing. If you're going into the lab and just going, oh, I'm just going to fight against a computer that doesn't do anything, like there's not going to be a lot of that's not going to be super useful. But when you've watched a video, or you've kind of, you know, maybe learned some things in a match, or you played against another character that did a similar that did a move that you're like, I've never done that before. For instance, when I played Antoine, the Mario main, and I watched one of his one of the ways he got back on the stage was he would throw the cape, jump, and back air, and I was like, I got to learn this, right? So I jumped into the lab, jumped on the ledge. What do you know? You just throw your cape. That takes, you don't have to drop down. You just throw the cape, and then you jump and you're already facing the right direction and you throw your back air. Like, it's extremely simple. But like, for me to think about doing that in a match against somebody, I wouldn't really think about it. But now that I've learned it, I can then take it into the game. And so I think that's the second part of it. Like, just nonchalantly going into the lab for the sake of being in there isn't going to probably do much good for you. But now that the game's been out long enough and there's probably videos, or at the very least, there's going to be some pros or some high end, or, you know, some real high level players playing the character you want to learn. You can find those on YouTube, pick like 2 or 3 moves, jump into the lab, and then work on those.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I did. I did go into lab a little bit working on Corrin in Smash 4, because there were videos out from Aiza and J-Tails and that kind of stuff, and they even went further enough to break down what the move was. But if, like, right now in this game there aren't a ton of character breakdown videos of combos and true combos and all that kind of stuff, so what you have to go off is you have to have a pretty astute eye to know your character, know the moves, recognize the moves that are happening in said combo that like is happening in a tournament or something like that, and slow it down a little bit, and then try to replicate it. So that's kind of what the training room is for right now, but give it another month or 2 more, probably here after Genesis, and you'll start to see some of those character videos coming out from those YouTube creators that will have like breakdowns of true combos and other string combos that you can work on to improve.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting out of everything. Is kind of like, it's like going to an actual gym, like go in there with a plan, like, so go into the training room with a plan and actually like work on those couple things.
Exactly.
And then focus on everything else later. I mean, it would help if I would just like put my Xbox in the back of a closet somewhere and just play my Switch too. So let's be honest.
That's what I've done. I had a system update the other day, and I was like, I don't even know how long this has been.
Yeah, my Xbox is not even hooked up, not until Halo 6 anyway. So maybe Crackdown, who knows? But well, right on, brother. Thank you so much for jumping in the call with us. I appreciate it. You got a quick,
no problem.
You got an Instagram or anything you want to shout out real quick?
Nah, I'm mostly in the Discord, Rust Belt Kid. Instagram it's same thing, Rust Belt Kid, just with a period in between each of them. That's about it. Just trying to slowly switching everything over to video game related stuff and kind of finding my little niche. That's about it.
Right on, brother. Right on. All right, you have a good one now.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Later.
Okay, let's see. We got a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap this thing up. We're almost at that. It's crazy how fast these shows go. So,
yep.
Next question is a really good one from Wave Tsunami. It says, what's the best way to find a local near me? And so what we did is we found a post that we're going to put in the show notes, and then I'm actually going to make up a post on n64josh.com that has some of these other links. But for right now, it looks like, is it reddit.com/r/smashbros/wiki/Facebook? And that's kind of every state and city and stuff kind of broken down.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was organized super well, but I did just do a Control F on the page, and I was able to just type in Colorado, and I double checked that my local scenes Facebook was the actual one. They had a few different listed, like 64 Melee, Project M, all that kind of stuff, but I clicked on just the Smash 4 one, which has been updated to be the ultimate page. I think we didn't create a new page, it just morphed into the ultimate page, and it is up to date and correct. So for my scene, it's correct, so I'm assuming a lot of those are going to be correct.
Cool. And the other thing too, like a quick Google search of your city and Smash Bros Facebook group, you know, or the like a major city near you or your state, right? You're more than likely going to have some things. You may have to do a little detective work here just to find it. But like, and once I found mine, because I don't like using Facebook all that much, I found that they had a Discord. I jumped into the Washington State Smash Bros Discord. And from there, that's how I found out about the GameWorks local that I went to like over a week ago, and then I'm gonna go again this week. So they're there. You just and the thing is, you may have to drive, and if you can't find anything close to you, then maybe try to get something started. Start a Facebook group, start a Discord, that kind of stuff.
Earlier on stream today about if you're in a college town or near a college town, there might be a scene that might not be listed there, but there might be something going on Smash related at a university or college around you.
Yeah, and the other thing too, like I'll go into like comic book shops that have like maybe they do card games and stuff, and I'll just ask, hey, do you guys do Smash Bros tournaments? You know, if you've got any like game shops, things like that, like give them a call and just say, hey, do you do anything? And if not, maybe you can help get something started. So something to think about. Next up, this is from Lego Lot. Says, I'm a casual player who listens to SBC, so my questions will usually be casual. What is your favorite level so far? Not a Battlefield version. Favorite assist trophy? Favorite Pokeball? Thanks. Crawley, you want to start with this one?
I mean, I've thought about stages. I don't know if I know enough about the assist trophies and Pokeballs. The most I interact with those are when they drop in the loading training room. But the stages I really enjoy. I have a few. I enjoyed that they brought back Saffron City from 64. I always enjoyed that stage on 64. Also Mushroom Kingdom, the one with the Mario 3 kind of aesthetic. And then lastly, just mainly for the music and just the visuals is so awesome and nostalgic. The Mushroom Kingdom 2 from Super Mario 2. It's I love that stage.
Chase's Dragon says, walking into a random businesses, scratch your chest. Y'all got any of those Smash Bros pyramids? It's pretty much how I do it, like to the T. Nailed it. So, here's my thing, right? Like, because I'm just a sucker for nostalgia. I love seeing the old Super Mario Brothers, like especially the first game. I love that stage. Now, obviously, I play it Battlefield. I don't necessarily play it its actual stage, but I love that it's there. Even some of the spirit tracks, you know, some of the Zelda stages, things like that. Like, I really dig a lot of them. You know, that are just that there's just a ton of history tied to them. You know, so
another one for me that's nostalgic that I'm glad is actually on a console because it was only on the 3DS version. But the Kirby in Dreamland with the Game Boy filter on it, I love that stage too.
Oh yeah, very cool. And that's the first Kirby I remember, really the only Kirby I remember playing.
That's the only Kirby I remember playing too.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's fun. As far as Pokeball, like, yeah, I'm gonna say Decidueye. I think I said that right, even though I don't know if I've ever seen it come out. I just
Mimikyu.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, we talked about enough of these leading up to the launch, but yeah, I mean, I throw them at my computer opponent in the loading room, but I'm trying to think of some of those assist trophies because some of those are really cool.
Oh, like Guile from Street Fighter. I love that's a thing. Waluigi, you know, got to give him some love.
Yeah. I mean, Rathalos flying in is pretty cool as well.
Springman.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fun ones. I just love that it's an appreciation and a love letter to the history of video games pretty much across the board.
Well, in this, I mean, he doesn't have just items, but like I threw a softball today straight up, and it went all the way from the top of the stage and came back and hit Mario
around.
That was hanging on the ledge.
The soccer ball doesn't do it quite as much, but the baseball, softball, that's fun.
Oh, dude, I was cracking up. So, okay, this is from Dave Wayne 09. It says, do you have any predictions for the remaining DLC characters? I have guesses. We'll see Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Steve from Minecraft, Crash, and some sort of tie-in with Nintendo's movie deals from Illumination Studios like Gru and his minions, like Olimar and Pikmin. What are our thoughts? What do you think? Any predictions for DLC character?
Well, we do know it's supposed to be franchises that haven't been represented. I'm still holding out for Banjo as the Microsoft representative more so than Steve. I think Steve would be kind of boring. But I'm for the thought as well that if we get Steve as an original fighter, we still haven't heard this yet, but I mean, you and I kind of had, I guess, wishful thinking that maybe we'd get alternating months, we'd get a free Echo. I think Banjo would be a great Echo of Duck Hunt. It's kind of half there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that would be fun if they're playing ball with Microsoft and Rare has said via Microsoft, whichever way you want to look at that they're kind of just guarding the IP. They don't really necessarily have plans to develop a ton of stuff with their IP, but if somebody comes up with good ideas with their IP, that they're willing to loan it out and play ball with it. So I mean, that would be cool. Joanna Dark we've talked about before as could be an echo for Snake. I think that, I mean, I would just love to see some of those old Rare franchises that Nintendo doesn't really have access to anymore to find their way back in. But Kingdom Hearts is coming out here in what, like 10 days or something like that here soon. Less than, I think. So I think that would be some kind of crazy announcement. But I'm with Persona and going back even with like Cloud. I mean, who knows? The anything's on the table, I think, and Nintendo has that power with this game and the reach that it has.
Yeah, we really do want to see we really do want to see as much from Rare as possible. Like anything Banjo, I think that'd be great. I think it'd be great. I mean, here's where you start. I mean, and who knows with the way with Microsoft's verbiage about it, like maybe we do see a Banjo game on the Switch. Back on the early days with the Xbox, I think it was the 360. We had games like Viva Pinata that also came out on the DS. So it's not entirely unlikely. There's definitely some things that could happen, and we've seen everybody playing nice, which is also crazy. So, the thing is, everybody is gonna be making some money if these kind of things happen. It's not like, because I mean, look, the kind of the proof is in the pudding. Like, look at what happens with these Nintendo first party games. Look at what happens with even some of these indie titles that Nintendo markets or even just talks about. All of a sudden, they're the games that sell the best on the Switch. So like, if Banjo could come out on the Xbox One and the Switch, like, I would be willing to bet it would sell more copies on the Switch than it would on the Xbox.
I mean,
but Xbox still makes money there,
People are still waiting for Activision to put the Spyro trilogy on Switch, and I think it would sell more than that they've sold on PlayStation 4 and Xbox.
More than likely. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty and Spyro, I mean, there's another character that, I'm sure people would love to see. So, I mean, as far as like dream characters for me, like we've kind of talked about it, like Master Chief would be cool. I don't know how likely that is, but and I'm still of the mind that we're going to see kind of some free DLC or characters that are tied to Nintendo come out along the way. Maybe they're, I don't know what the price of Piranha Plant's going to be once after anybody that buys the game after the fact. But I would imagine we may, maybe he's like $3 or something. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be less because he doesn't have a stage and a song and that kind of stuff, or maybe he does. I don't really know all the details on it. But regardless, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, characters like Waluigi and Springman and
and people still want
Bandana D. I saw
Gino.
from chat, and Gino. Yeah. So so there's a lot. So. Who knows? I know as far as like seeing things like Gru and Minions, I don't think that will ever be the case because they've made it very clear that they have to be video game characters first and foremost. So I don't think we're ever going to see Goku or any of the Dragon Ball stuff that I know some people would like to see and some people don't want at all. It's really funny. So last question here is, what is your main goal at Genesis? I believe the name was Spam on this one from the Discord. It says, what is your main goal at Genesis and what do you hope to take from the experience as a whole? And who's your favorite pro player and why? So I'll let you take this one.
I think we had set the bar really low when we were originally talking about Genesis. I'm a little more optimistic. I mean, just the sheer numbers that are going to Genesis, I'm hoping that we can. I don't know if I'm going to get out of pools. You've had an experience with pool play at your local. I haven't had that experience yet, so that could be kind of its own thing to experience. But I would definitely like to try to win a game. I mean, we were joking about just taking a stock at the beginning, but I think hopefully
there's 2,055 people in singles.
Yes, I think with how we've progressed a little bit, hopefully we can at least guarantee that we're going to take a stock. But I think the biggest thing is just it's going to be the experience. It's the first super major. I mean, this is a grassroots event that has grown to be what it is, and I was kind of disappointed. I saw yesterday that Zero said he's not going. I think that would have been a great thing just to be able to see all those top players in one space. But I will definitely say that a couple of my favorite pro players, I've followed Cosmos mainly just because of the fact that he and I had mained the same character in Smash 4. He's playing Inkling now. I haven't seen a lot of his streams lately. I think he's kind of been practicing Underground, but I think he was at Glitch, and I think he had a pretty good showing. I think I saw one of his matches this past weekend. But also just what Tweak is doing with Wario is insane, and the fact that he's just kind of quietly just going about his business and just running through some of those players is pretty nuts. I enjoy watching him.
As far as, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to expect. I don't have any like expectations for how I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do the best I can, and I'm gonna have fun doing it, right? Like the experience overall is just going to be amazing. Honestly, I hope it's an incredible networking event so that we can get pro players on this show, like that we can kind of. I'm hoping that it will help us take this show to the next level, to get some pro players on here and get advice and tips from them, so that we can all be learning on a whole nother level. That's really what I want to see. And so I plan on we're gonna have cameras. We're gonna be doing live streams from Twitch. We're gonna be putting out massive amounts of content while we're there too. And then just trying to, like, I've done different cons and stuff, and if you go there and you just try to work the whole time, you end up kind of missing some of the fun. So that's the other thing too, is like I just want to have some fun, Just have
they got an arcade set up the whole time, so I'm looking forward to like friendlies and stuff as well, because there should be time for that. But yeah, just the event as a whole, I think is going to be really fun.
I think overall, I feel like there's a really good chance I'm going to leave there a better Smash player than when I showed up, because of the variety of people that are there and the different skill levels, and even just, and we're planning a meetup. So hopefully we'll get to meet some of you guys. If you're going or you live in the Bay Area, come out. We would love to get to hang out. We're getting the details on that going. So it's just overall, it's just going to be really, really a good time. Whether we whether we take any matches or not, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're gonna do okay. So. Danderson from chat saying Genesis is always a good time, so I'm really excited, really excited. So as far as my pro player, like, I don't know that I necessarily have a favorite, like, anti and ally. Like, I loved seeing just the stuff they could do with Mario, right? But I mean, Nairo is he's just crazy. He's crazy. I love watching him. I love just his attitude and everything. Like, it just. As far as a competitor goes, like, I really enjoy what he does. And then you got like Matt. Oh my gosh, his tag that he goes by just escaped me. The Luigi main. Elegant. There we go. Yeah, Elegant. Just I love watching him play right now. Like his Luigi is just dirty. So just seeing different players like that and seeing them push the game like to levels that I hadn't seen or obviously can't do. I love it. So that's some of my some of my favorites right now anyway. So with that, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord, n64josh.com/discord. And then just for all things that are going to be going on at Genesis, check out my Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. There's also a link there to my Twitch, so twitch.tv/Nightcrawler724. Josh and I will both be trying to get stuff up. Like I said, we'll try to be recording each other on our Twitch channels while we're playing, and then look for different posts and stuff on Twitter while we're there.
Yeah, right on, guys. You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all the places. It's at N64Josh. We're streaming pretty regularly on Twitch. Come hang out. Make sure notifications are turned on. Come do some viewer battles. It's a good time. I love playing with you guys. It helps me improve. Like, one of the things today has just been working on my cross-ups. I've been really enjoying just trying to focus on that. So that's been cool. Remember, you get yourself a free book from Audible by going to audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. Go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. My book is done, Another Castle. Get the first chapter for free by going to n64josh.com/anothercastle. Right, we got lots of resources for you guys, links in the show notes, that kind of stuff. Make sure to check all that stuff out. I'm putting up videos on my YouTube channel that are helping out, and we do have that page on my website. If you go to n64josh.com/smashvideos, I'm going to make sure I'm updating that with some more videos this week. So, but so far there's some really good stuff on there, especially if you're just starting out with Smash and you want to be able to improve. So thank you guys so much for your questions, for calling in and everything. We really appreciate it, and we will see you on Friday for the normal episode. Take it easy, guys. Bye now.